In church.
I did.
Off your game, Sean.
Okay, going to call the meeting to order. The regular council meeting of June 22nd, 2026 is now 6:30 p.m. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Aaron? Here. Councilman Fleming?
Here.
Councilor Gerald? Here. Mayor Potem Muir?
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach? Here. Councilor Wright?
Here.
Mayor Haynes?
I am here. If everyone would please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Councilor Wright.
We gather here today to ground ourselves in the shared space of our community, keeping our hearts and minds open to the vital truths this season brings to light. We acknowledge the vibrant history, struggles, and triumphs of the LGBTQ community and our immigrant and Caribbean American neighbors. May we carry forward their spirit of resilience, celebrating the rich tapestry of diverse voices that shape the strengthening of our collective story. We commit to protecting one another in our daily lives, at work, at home, on the road, and in our communities, and we look out for each other. Let us be mindful stewards of the natural world, preserving its beauty and peace for generations to come. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda? I do have one. I would like to take number 2 under the consent agenda, the Director of Public Services 2026 Park and Recreation Month, and move that up under presentations. Other than that, that's all I have. Seeing nobody else has any, we'll move on to presentations. So, the presentation, I know that we have a couple people here this evening from our Parks and Rec Department, and we have a proclamation this evening. Proclamation is here. Whereas Parks and Recreation are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the city of Madison Heights, and whereas Parks and Recreation programs promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and whereas Parks and Recreation programs promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourage physical activities by providing space for popular sports, walking trails, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Park and Recreation programming and educational activities, such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, and environmental education, are critical to childhood development. And whereas Parks and Recreation increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas Parks and Recreation are fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the United States House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month. And whereas the City of Madison Heights recognizes the benefits derived from its park and recreation resources and the skilled personnel involved in their upkeep and programming. Now therefore be resolved that the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Madison Heights hereby proclaim the month of July as Park and Recreation Month in the City of Madison Heights and urges all citizens, civic leaders, and civic organizations to join with the National Recreation and Park Association in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our park and recreation professionals and to recognize the substantial contributions they make toward the enhancement and enjoyment of our residents' quality of life. And I know Sean Ballantyne, our DPS Director, is here this evening. If you would like to introduce who you have with you to come up and accept the proclamation.
Certainly, good evening. I have Brendan Shimke, our Recreation Supervisor, and Colin Cote, our Recreation Specialist, who will be accepting the proclamation.
All right. Go ahead, sure.
Yeah. Had a couple things I wanted to say real quick. Just want to thank you all for recognizing the month of July as Parks Recreation Month. I'm sure Colin and I can both say that we have the best job in the world working in Parks and Recreation, being involved so closely with the community, whether it's our coaches, our campers, or participants, it makes it a job to love. I truly believe Parks and Recreation is extremely important to the community. Our job is to improve our residents' quality of life, whether that's mental or physical. And I'm very excited to continue doing that for this great community in Madison Heights. We're so excited to officially celebrate Parks and Recreation Month for the first time in Madison Heights. So we do have a couple events planned for the month. We have a pickleball mixer, Zumba demo. We're partnering with the AAC for a craft and play to bring generations together. We're also partnering with the Madison Heights Youth Soccer Association for a soccer clinic in July as well. So we're super excited to bring all those things to community this month, and we're really excited to celebrate. So thank you all again.
Okay, next up on the agenda, we have we just had a presentation. We have no public hearings. Next is meeting open to the public. Whoever would like to speak can go up to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes, and please direct your comments towards me.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Kevin Wright, and I live at 745 Canterbury Drive. And I'm on the Board of Directors of Madison Heights Citizens United. I'm also a member of the Madison Heights Historical Commission. So tonight I'd like to briefly talk about 2 big events in our city. The first is the 2026 Madison Heights Juneteenth celebration, which took place on Saturday at Civic Center Park. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, the City Council, and all our neighbors from across Metro Detroit who came out to celebrate freedom with us. This was our biggest turnout ever. At one point in the afternoon, I just sat down at a picnic table by the band shell, listened to the music, and looked around. There were people everywhere in the park, enjoying the day, enjoying the weather, enjoying the moment. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors. Without their generous support, we could not have been able to offer this event free to the community. I'd like to also give a huge shout out to Justin and the crew at Madison Heights DPS for their hard work getting the park ready and keeping it beautiful all day. They did a great job, and we certainly appreciate them. As you might imagine, we're already thinking about next year. The second event I'd like to talk about is the upcoming festival in the park this Sunday at Civic Center Park. It's always a favorite of my family. This year, to coincide with the festival, the Madison Heights Historical Commission is holding a special open house on Sunday, June 28th at the Heritage Rooms Historical Museum, located on the lower level of City Hall. The special open house will run from 5 to 7:30 p.m. If people are bringing their kids or their grandkids to the fireworks, they'll love our replica one-room schoolhouse classroom complete with vintage desk, old-fashioned chalkboards, I remember them, and vintage toys they can touch and play with. We invite everyone to join us from 5 to 7:30 p.m. this Sunday, June 20th, at the Heritage Rooms Historical Museum on the lower level of City Hall. It's a great opportunity to take a stroll through Madison's history before heading over to the festival in the park and enjoying our city's celebration of America's 250th birthday. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin's taller than me. Martha Colbert, Edward Avenue. Melissa and Sean, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the other 2 gentlemen, have put out all kinds of information about the R4. I went to the event at the library. I was the only person there. I felt bad that they had to waste their whole time, but they didn't. They were very informative. You guys don't get your information off Facebook. Go to one of these events or contact Melissa, she put her phone number, her email, everything out there. If you want to really know what's happening, contact our city manager. That's what she wants you to do. Second thing is, bike rodeo on the 10th was fabulous. Thank you, everyone that came out, Mr. Mayor, Councilman Fleming, we saw you there. You even had a booth there for the R4 to help people understand what's going on. So it makes me feel bad that people are really not understanding. I'm not trying to be snotty or smart to anybody, but it's like, you guys, you can't trust an administrator of a Facebook page to tell you what our city manager knows. This is what she does for a living, okay? She's gonna tell you the truth. And what else? There was something else. Oh, and if you don't want to pass R4 because you say it's gonna raise your taxes, I was told directly from Melissa, it's not going to, it's just a renewal. So if you don't pass it, you get no better, your taxes don't drop, and you don't get better streets. So it's really not a lot to comprehend, but do what you have to do.
Okay, thank you. You're fine. You are fine.
I'm back again. For the no parking sign, I'm begging you. On Forest Therapy, I'm at 27809 Lennox, Kathy Chambers. And I said, all the history, we've been here since 1940. My grandpa's house is on Hampton, and, it's been there, I think, since 1940. And my house since 49. Please give me a sign. I have to get out of my driveway, and I have to go sideways. And the guy behind me can't even use his driveway. The apartments have a a parking lot and a back entrance. And I think Edison Park looks so nice now they have the basketball. Just put a couple more trees. Because they couldn't, because the big pole was sitting there on the ground. And I had Edison take it. That's all. That's my request.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else here that has anything for public comment? Okay, clerk, I know that you have a couple.
Yes, I have 2 email comments that were also forwarded to City Council and will be put in the record. One was from Kevin Trabucki, and he's advocating for 2 to 3 lane road diet on John R. And the other one is from Mary Bush, and she is stating her opposition to the Amazon drones and advocating for limiting allowable flight times.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll close public comment. Moving on to the consent agenda, we have several items. We have the Director of Public Services 2026 LRIP Cost Participation Agreement, City Manager Purchase of Leased Vehicles, City Planner, Resolution for Street Right-of-Way Vacation Request, PEE, hashtag 26-01, GWK/WRC, Unimproved Rights-of-Way. Next is City Council Special Workshop Meeting Minutes of June 1st, 2026, City Council Special Workshop Meeting Minutes of June 5th, 2026, and City Council Regular Meeting Minutes of June 8th, 2026. What is the wish of City Council? Yes. Okay, we have a motion. Is there support?
Support.
All right, we have motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. On to reports. Finance Director, amendments to fiscal year 2025-26 budget and carry forwards to amend the fiscal year 2026-27 budget.
The state of Michigan's budget law requires that any budget amendments be approved by City Council. The budget amendments are submitted to ensure that the fiscal year 2026 and the fiscal year 2027 budgets are in compliance with state law. If City Council concurs with the recommended amendments, then Council should approve the implementation of these amendments and appropriate necessary funds. This approval requires a supermajority vote of City Council.
Okay, thank you, Manager Marsh. What is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I move that council concurs with the recommendation of staff on the amendments to the budget and approve the implementation of the amendments and appropriate the necessary funds.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries. Next item under reports, Finance Director, amendment to the Capital Asset Management Policy.
The city's auditors have recommended that the city consider increasing the capitalization threshold of assets from $15,000 from the current $5,000. This increase will better align with current government finance practices and inflationary changes. This change would be effective in this current fiscal year, which is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 and beyond. If City Council concurs with this recommendation to amend the capital asset management policy, then City Council should approve the implementation of those amendments effective July 1st, 2025.
Okay, thank you, Manager Marsh. What is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
motion to approve the increase of the capitalization threshold to $15,000 effective July 1st, 2025.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
Motion and support?
Just,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was going to say any discussion, so go ahead.
just, can you explain why it's July 1st, 2025? Again?
Yes, so we're getting,
Sorry, I just noticed it. It said
no,
25.
2025 is correct. We're getting ready to close out the books at June 30th. The city's fiscal year runs from July 1st to June 30th each year. And so we go through, and this is the time of the year that we would capitalize assets, so move things onto our books for that. So we wanted to do it ahead of the end of this fiscal year, which is June 30th. So technically, it would be for any purchases that we made all the way back to July 1st. So it wouldn't change anything with expenditures or revenues. It's simply just as a way of accounting for those assets. And they would show as assets instead of just as an expense. So it goes back to the beginning of this fiscal year.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we explained that, so it makes sense to everybody, or it just wasn't a typo.
No typo.
All right, any other discussion?
Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah, just to reiterate that point, no sense spending our finance folks' time capitalizing an asset that come July 1st of this year won't be an asset.
Right.
So that's why we made it effective on July 1st of 2025.
Anything else? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next up, this from the City Attorney, amendment to settlement agreement with Arctic Fox LLC.
Arctic Fox LLC, also known as JERS, and the city entered into a settlement agreement on January of 2024, requiring, among other things, that they complete a build-out of a grow and processing building. That's in addition to the building that they currently have built. In lieu of this requirement, the city is considering accepting $167,500 lump sum and $15,000 annually, which would be increased on an annual basis for the inflation rate set by the State Tax Commission. Given the new business environment for marijuana establishments to operate in Michigan, the city attorney and staff recommends that we accept this offer. Should the city council concur with staff's recommendation, council can make a motion to approve the amendment to the settlement agreement between Arctic Fox LLC and the city of Madison Heights as presented.
Okay, thank you, Manager Marsh. What is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I move that council approves the amendment to the settlement agreement between Arctic Fox LLC and the city of Madison Heights as presented.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion, support. Any discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I mean, I think it would be worthwhile to kind of explain, like, the reason this is happening is really so that there was going to be another building that would have been taxable as property, correct? The
Yes.
improvements on that. And now that that building is not going to be built, the city is still going to incur the taxable value of the property if it had been improved as they originally agreed to. So this is kind of like, all right, you're not going to build it, but we still get the income for the city. So
Yes.
it's all, feels like a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, but that's really happening, is that we're continuing to, even though, like, we had that settlement, we're still getting the benefit of having that property if it were improved as originally agreed, correct?
Right, and I think we're getting an added benefit too, because the purpose of this building that they're now not going to build was for cultivation and processing. And what comes with cultivation and processing is massive odor. So to get the recovery of the same amount of taxes with the increase without them having to build it, I think is sensational. Plus, we get an extra $167,500 upfront. And it prevents them from having this grow cultivation processing part. So not only do we get the taxes, we don't have to have that building, we don't have to have the odor and all the problems that come with that, so. Anyone else?
I will just add one thing, and I was looking to verify. They are still going to be buying, so when we approved their license through a settlement agreement, they had to buy a license through the city each year for a grow and processing. They are not going to be doing those businesses, but they are still obligated to pay the city for those licenses for the time being. So that's part of this settlement as well. So that's money that you don't have to approve as part of the settlement because they have to do that anyway, but that's additional funds that are coming into the city.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
So I want to try and summarize this. So one of the things the first question I think I have is, it's, in the presentation, it says that they'll continue to pay this $15,000 annually for the length of the settlement, but I don't see where that length of of the period of the settlement is outlined anywhere. So how long are they going to keep paying this $15,000? Is it as long as they're in business? Is it for 2 years?
It is my understanding that it's as long as they want to keep their business license in the city of Madison Heights, because they got that business license based on doing certain things, and one of those certain things was building this second building. So in lieu of building the building, they have to come back and make the city whole, and so what we're losing is the taxes that they would have had to pay had they built the building. So it is for the duration of the time that they have their business license here.
So is that the same understanding that they have?
It's my understanding it's the same
Runs
understanding.
with
We've
the
talked
property.
about it quite a bit with them, and they are aware that it was going to go up by the state tax inflation rate, and they're aware of what that $15,000 represents. So those taxes would be paid there.
I just hate this because, so let me try and recap for everybody. So they bullied us into trying to sue us and get a license, and they were turned down 4-3. And then several months later, they kept bullying us and threw more money at us. And so they were approved 4-3, making all these promises. And now here we are 2 years later, and they're again bullying us by throwing all this money at us that they're not going to keep up on what they promised us 2 years ago. What's going to be next? I don't like this one at all. I'm sorry. It's just.
Well, this settlement agreement really didn't originate from I can't say it didn't originate from them. The city, they have an obligation to build that second building. They had time period to do that. When they
let's
were
shut 'em
getting
down.
close to the time period to do that, we approached them with, if you don't do this, your business license is going to be revoked. That's a fight also, once you revoke the business license. So we came up with, the comment exactly from me was, I really don't care if they build the building or not, because to the mayor's point, that is the only time I get complaints about these marijuana, the real marijuana places, not caregivers. But these places, it's when they grow. So there's one grow here, and it is because of the smell. And so I don't really even want them to be growing right there on the interstate. So you don't want to build the building, fine with me. But the city, in addition to, so we're not getting rich off these marijuana companies by any means, but we also get $51,000 a year from the taxes that they pay at the state. So when you revoke these licenses, the city is going to be losing that money, plus they're going to be losing the other taxes that they get. Plus they donate to a nonprofit in the city of $25,000 a year that supports things like Juneteenth and Trail Tunes and the murals and the Arts Board.
So they're going to continue to donate the $25,000 on top of the $15,000 adjusted for inflation, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, that's part of their original licensing fees.
Is
So
that
the
what we
alternative to
is
doing
that
this
what we
is we
understand,
move
or is that
forward.
what's really going to happen?
That's in their other agreement. They're required to do that. I mean,
Okay.
the alternative, if
Anything
council
goes.
wants to, is we move forward with the revocation of the business license, but that's not a straightforward and clean-cut process either. So,
It's not a straightforward process, but if we revoke their license, then they don't build the growth center, and we don't have the smell, and we put another marijuana place out of business in our little 7 square miles. We'll still have 3 of them, but, okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay?
Your Honor,
Yes.
just for my clarification, so we're talking about Arctic Fox, which is jars off of 12 Mile, correct?
12 Mile,
And the
Yes.
retail facility is up and running as
Yes.
of like this year or last year? So do they show any intentions of shutting the retail facility down, or is that just in place for now?
oh, they're not planning on shutting down anything. I mean, if city council denies this and sends forth the directive that you want us to revoke their business license, it would be for that retail location.
Okay, so, but the retail business is up and running, and we're just trying to stop the secondary facility, which was the one we were more not.
Well, we're not necessarily trying to stop it. They have said they have no interest into it. So the
Okay.
marijuana industry as a whole has significantly changed since 2019, when we got like 23 applications to put these businesses here, and it was a fight to see who could put these here. The economics behind the marijuana companies has drastically changed. So they no longer want to build it there. There's no incentive for them, it doesn't calculate, I guess, for them to build it there anymore. So they were not ambitiously moving forward with it. So we either have to revoke their business license and force them to build a building they're not going to use, or we can enter into this settlement agreement. And if they build the building, they could grow there. And to the mayor's point, I really would prefer that they didn't, but that's just me because I don't really care for the smell.
So the smell, and there's no interest on the manufacturer or Arctic Fox part to grow there anymore. So this is just a settlement to make sure we get the taxes anyway. And
Yes.
they still are going to proceed forward with the retail. Okay, all right, just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the only thing I would add to the discussion is this, and first of all, Tim Burns was the point man from my office involved in negotiating this. The intent of this amendment to the agreement is to kind of put the city in the same place it would have been in had the grow and processing operations have been built. So since they're not being built, which means that Arctic Fox is breaching their original agreement to build those facilities, we're getting money in lieu of them building those facilities as if they were built. And if the city were not to accept, if the council were not to accept the settlement agreement, we'd be losing, the city would be losing a large chunk of money that we would otherwise have coming to us, and result in a business license revocation hearing, more expense, more litigation, and things of that nature. So I hope that puts it more in context for the council.
Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in, well, we need to, no, we don't, never mind. Answered my own question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no.
No.
The motion carries. All right, we are up to closing comments. This evening, we will start with Councilwoman Aaron.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first say, I apologize, but I did not have my computer today, and I had to use my phone, and for some reason, it kept vibrating, even though it was on silent. I kept hearing it, but forgive me for not being properly prepared. I left Livonia and flew out here, and by the time I got here, I realized I didn't have my computer. Anyway, this coming Wednesday, if you all enjoyed Juneteenth celebration with the live music, I'm sure I did. It was really, really wonderful. The bands that I did see were great. We are continuing on with Music in the Park this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come and see Denise Davis and the Motor City Sensation. The concert begins at 6:30 and it ends roughly about 8 o'clock. If you're coming in from work, don't worry. We're going to have a food truck on site. The food truck is verified, and they will be on site this Wednesday, which will be Funkin' Up Fries. Have a lot of different type of fried dishes. It's going to be great. So don't stay at home. Come on out and enjoy some sun and music in the park this Wednesday. Also, Also, next month is Disability Pride Month, and the Library Board will be hosting, continuing with their speaker series, where we'll be talking about neurodivergence and autism, and we're going to get it from two different perspectives. One, as an educator, which will be coming out on June 15th. She's going to be talking about autism, neurodivergent symptoms. And then on July 29th, we're going to get it from a parent's point of view. So it's going to be a really interesting concept. So I employ everybody that can. Please come out. You're going to hear two different versions of it and get a better understanding of autism. And finally, I want to thank the HREC for this Saturday honored my little boy with the Juneteenth Scholarship Award. And I want to say this. One of the sponsors, or one of the persons that read the scholarship out, she came to me when she seen me at the Pride event, and she looked and she said, "You're Toya Aaron?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "This is your son?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh my God, I had no idea. I did not know. I did not put the two names together. It was not nepotism. He truly had the best essay that was out there." So thank you guys for honoring my son. I really appreciate it. And that's all I have for tonight.
Great, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Muir?
Thank you, Your Honor. Welcome back, Cheryl. Good to see you down there, and not having to make a motion every meeting for a part-time city clerk. So, welcome back. Reminder, speaking of our DPS and our Parks and Rec Department, that we are doing the beautification awards. So please nominate your neighbors who take good care of their yards. I'm going to nominate one of my neighbors who, they have a very nice looking yard. Is it spectacular like some of the others around the city? Maybe not quite there, but the point I want to make to the committee is the people that live there are in their 80s. And I walk my dog past their house every day, and she's out there on her hands and knees pulling weeds out of the garden, pulling weeds out of the grass. She keeps asking me for advice on how to get green grass. I said, if you've seen my yard, you would know not to ask me advice on that. But she does a remarkable job, and I love them. Her husband wants to steal my dog, and a couple of times I've tried to give him away. He doesn't really take them, but anyway, they're wonderful people. So remember to get those in. Thank you, Kevin, for your job with Juneteenth. That was fantastic. Sorry I could not get there until a little bit later in the day. We had our Little League All-Star game earlier in that day, so busy day for me. And Kevin mentioned historical open houses on Sunday, and we'll see everybody there and at the fireworks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Wright?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and City Council. Forgive me, I was absent at the last City Council meeting. I make it a point not to miss, but I had to. What some of you may not know is I have had a mentor pretty much my entire life. I've had many mentors. You guys mentor me, but I've had one in particular who I met as a young child when I was in junior high, who's been a mentor of mine still. He's a man by the name of Michael Serling, and he was honored 2 weeks ago by the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. He is a philanthropist, he is a successful businessman, and he's someone who's been very important to me in my life, and it was an honor to be there to see him be honored for his work that he's done within the community, within the Jewish community, within the Michigan State community. So forgive me for having to miss for that, but I wouldn't have been anywhere else in the world. So thank you for giving me that grace. Kevin, thank you for putting together Juneteenth with I was on my Michigan State vibe. Madison Heights Citizens United. Lori, I saw you working hard there. Juneteenth is very special to me for obvious reasons, but it's about inclusivity. And thinking about Juneteenth and thinking about the event I went to 2 weeks ago, it's really important that we remember to advocate for each other. You know, I can come up here and advocate for Black history. I can come up here and advocate for things that are important to me, but what's really important is when we stick up for each other, it means so much more, and it carries so much more weight when we hold each other up in what we're trying to do. So let's remember to do that. On a lighter note, mark your calendars for September 19th, Revving in the Heights. We're revving up, getting ready. Get your cars out, tell your friends. Apparently, I did not know this, but there are a lot of people with sports cars in Madison Heights. I think I know 2 of them on council, so I'm gonna look both of you in the eye, sir, and sir, your counselor, sir, your honor, sir, and tell you to come out September 19th. We're already gearing up. It's gonna be a great show. But finally, just remember to be kind. Take care.
Thank you. City Attorney.
Yeah, I have a comment, Your Honor, and based on what Counselor Wright just mentioned, I was also absent for the same reason that he was, because I attended what's called the annual Hank Greenberg Golf, Tennis, and Pickleball outing. I'm one of the vice presidents of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. I'm also a member of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. I just got my ring back yesterday. I have a little arthritis on my knuckle. I had to have it enlarged, and I sent it to the company. I was inducted 16 years ago, and I sent it to the company, and for free, they did a beautiful job of cleaning it up and sizing it. But the event was fantastic. It raises money for cancer research. We've raised over $2 million. The honored guest that night, aside from Michael Serling, who was such a deserving honoree and a very good friend of mine, as well as being Quinn's mentor, and he gave a beautiful speech for the award that he received. Alan Trammell of the Tigers got the Hank Greenberg Award. I happened to have dinner with Alan Trammell 2 weeks ago Sunday night, and it was a real treat, especially when one of your sports heroes is really the kind of person you would expect him to be. Just down to earth, couldn't have been nicer, and he was he really appreciated the honor. We also honored the Sportscaster Award. The Dick Schaap Award went to the Toronto Blue Jays and ESPN college basketball reporter, Dan Schulman, who came in from Toronto, and he was a wonderful honoree too. So the whole event was just fantastic. It was very well attended. We raised a lot of money for a good cause, and I was very happy that Councilor Wright was there to see what it was all about, because it was a very special night. Other than that, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, 4th of July holiday weekend, our big 250th birthday. Enjoy, be safe, and hope to see you at the fireworks.
Okay, thank you. Manager Marsh?
Yeah, I just want to talk about R4. Thank you for the shout out, Martha. But for anybody who actually wants to come get the facts, Sean Ballantyne and I will be at the AAC Thursday at 3 o'clock, and we will also be at the Madison Early Childhood Center at 6 o'clock Thursday night. And if you can't make it to those, I completely understand. We'll also have a table at Festival in the Park from 6 to 8. And Sean makes wonderful lemonade, so you can come out for that, if nothing else. And if you can't make any of those times, you can stop in City Hall and call me or email me or something. So that's that.
Okay, thank you. City Clerk?
Well, it's nice to be back. Thank you, everybody. Speaking of R4, it's election season in the city, and absentee ballots our goal is to have them out by the end of the week. So you should be looking for those. If you're on the permanent ballot list, you will automatically receive a ballot. If you are not on that list, you have to request a ballot by filling out an application for an absentee ballot. You can do that either by calling our office and we can send you the application, or you can go online and you can submit an application to the state and they forward it to us. I just wanted to remind everybody that this is a primary election, so don't split your ticket. You can vote one party and then move to the nonpartisan and the questions section of the ballot. And I was testing the ballot, started testing the ballots today, and I noticed there's a big, I don't print the ballots, the county prints the ballots. There's a big gap on the side, on the front of the ballot to the back of the ballot. So make sure that you turn it over when you're voting it. It's two-sided. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
I promised Councilor Wright I wasn't going to say anything tonight to keep it nice and short, but I lied. The first thing is I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures here and out there. We appreciate you, and we need you. We need you in our lives. We need you in our community. So thank you for all you do. I also want to say thank you to Kevin and to everybody on the Madison Heights Citizens United for all of their hard work. There's so many volunteers, countless hours go into putting that together, and I know it's a labor of love. So thank you all for all of your work to do that. And third of all, I'll see you all at the Festival in the Park. Happy 4th of July. I made it fast.
Thank you. Counselor Gerald.
I just have 4 quick things. One of them is that it's just been an honor, Kevin, to work with you on Juneteenth since the very beginning, and to be your calm side to your worrying side, and but it's all those things that you worry about being that make it such an outstanding event, so thank you for that. There is a photo contest, 250-year photo contest. If you haven't seen information about it, you can find it on the city site or the library site. And they're looking for photos that to you represent America generally, 250 years. And I don't know better details on that, but it is, you're looking at me funny. But it's on the library site. It just came out maybe 2 weeks ago, June 5th, somewhere around there. But the pictures, I think, are being accepted till October. Yeah. Next week, because it's the week leading directly into 4th of July, there is no concert or other activity in the park. It's the only week we're taking off between the June 10th start and Trail Tunes. And then Attorney Sherman, I look forward to seeing your new dance moves someday, just saying.
You're not explaining what that's about, though.
No need.
He shared a video of his very young, not even a toddler grandson, great-grandson, I imagine, teaching him new dance moves. It was adorable.
Thank you. Councilman Fleming.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to Jordan Aaron, who received the HRAC's Juneteenth Scholarship. It's very prestigious that he got that. He's going to be going to college next fall, actually probably sooner than that, but we'll miss him, and I'm pretty sure that he will be doing great achievements and lots of great accomplishments through college and the rest of his life, so we hope that he does well. Also, I wanted to talk about something that's really important to myself and to a lot of other people in the community is safety. And this last week in Ferndale, there was a tragedy that happened with an e-bike. It was a young man who was killed in Ferndale, where they do have bike lanes, and he was riding on the sidewalk, of all things. And so while riding on the sidewalk, the victim was struck, not wearing a helmet, and died. And so I am looking into working with the attorney into making more stricter e-bike laws for our community to make sure that, I mean, it probably will not, 100% protect everybody from having an accident. Those things occur. But it will be a guidance for our community members and people riding e-bikes that we try to make everything safe or safer for our community. So that's something I look forward to working on, and also having some input from our community members on any ordinance that we come up with in the future. So I don't have a timetable for that at all. And I want to say also thank you to Kevin Wright for the Juneteenth. He's every year he's coming out with Juneteenth, and it's bigger and better, and it's really great that we're able to celebrate Juneteenth for everyone. And the pickleball mixer, I want to know more about that, because I think Larry might be able to attend and do his dance there. That's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I just have a couple of comments. First and foremost, congrats to Jordan on getting the Juneteenth scholarship. I wish I could have been here for that, but there was a lot of events going on that day, so I was here for a few hours at the park, but I wasn't able to stay the whole day. Also, again, Kevin Wright, I know that we've all said something tonight, and Lori as well. Councilor Gerald's, for all the work they put into Juneteenth. I mean, not only it was a beautiful day, the weather was perfect, it really shined down on everybody, and we just, it was a great time at the park. So, again, thank you for all the work that you put in and all the volunteers, along with Citizens United and the HREC, and everything they did for that. And we have the festival in the park coming up this coming weekend. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be there. I'm going to be having a procedure done on Friday that may keep me down for a couple of weeks, but we'll see how things go. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it. And lastly, Ms. Chambers, we are looking into that situation. We are looking into it to see what it is we can or cannot do, as well with the trees and with the parking signs. So you're not going unheard. It's just taken us a few minutes to get to it. So, but we're working on it. So, other than that, that's all I have this
Your Honor?
evening. Yes.
Can I interrupt?
Sure.
I'll be disowned from my family if I don't add this last point. My sixth grandchild was born on Tuesday, so my youngest son had his little baby boy, Franklin William, born on Tuesday. So
Congratulations. All right, and with that, we will adjourn the meeting at 7:15. Thank you, everyone.
We're tied now. We're tied. We're tied. We're tied.